Welcome back. My name's Laura. If you don't know me, I've been traveling for the past 2 years. I'm currently in Australia and I have about 2 months left of my 9-month trip. It's mine and Melly's sailing tour. Melly is someone that I met at the beginning of my stay in Australia and we ended up traveling together, which you would have seen in the last videos. And now we've actually made it to our sailing tour. If you watched last week's video, which I'd highly recommend, you'll see why that was a very big success. We are about an hour away from our departure for the sailing trip and we're just at this hostel making some breakfast in the parking lot before we park the car and then head over to the marina where the sailing tour starts. We've packed our bags and then we're ready to go. We're both extremely excited. So yeah, we're about to go on our 2-day, 2-night sailing tour and it's in the Whitsundays. We've already arrived in Early Beach and it's looking magical. Guys, look at the water. Look at the water. You can't really see it from here, but I'm gonna get some really cool shots. I've got my GoPro, I've got my drone, I've got my camera. Yeah. Whole equipment. Now, let's get on the boat. Woo! So I'm not exactly sure what type of boat we were on, but when we got on, it was just this big open deck. And in the middle of the deck, you had to walk down into like the bottom of the boat and you had to go down these steep stairs. And then it was already the kitchen area and that's where the crew was always lying out the dinner and the lunch. So say this is the ship. Underneath on the bottom deck we had like basically the 2 outside rows and they were just full of bunk beds, and then in the front we also had like a little cabin and there were like 4 more bunk beds there, and that's actually where me and Melly were staying, so we were right in the corner. Right Melly, what's this? This is our bed! Our bed! This is our spot for the night, guys. We have a double bunk that we're sharing. We're right at the front of the boat and it's like this little chamber. On the 2 sides in the middle we had 2 bathrooms, and I mean they're just like very basic boat bathrooms. The dinners were obviously made from the crew and it was always so delicious, so big shout out to the crew for making the best food. So they've put the blue light on and the blue light attracts dolphins and sharks and all of that stuff. They called the area where we're like anchored something, yeah, Shark Point. It had shark in the name. So hopefully, or maybe, we'll be able to see some sharks tonight, which is so cool. And I did ask, and it actually had nothing to do with the colour because I thought that the blue light would have something special, but it's actually just light underwater and it was blue. Well, good morning. This is the result of not showering for the past like 4 days, and we're on a sailboat. We are just getting ready to go to step foot on an island. So we're going to get the dinghy over from the boat to the beach and then we're going to spend a few hours on the beach, and then later today we're going to go snorkeling again, and we're going to have like 4 naps because the sleep was moderate. Onto the island of the Whitsundays. We just took a dinghy from the sailboat onto the island, and now there's like a beach we can explore, a secret beach and some kind of lookout as well, and it seems like we're completely in the jungle. Look at all of this. And yeah, they said there are snakes that live here, and what was the other one? Iguanas? I think they said iguanas live here. Yeah. Well, sometimes things fall into place, other times a little force is needed. Being in this type of environment was so different to everything I've experienced before. The sand was so white and so soft, and the water was kind of warm. The sand at Whitehaven beaches are actually 98.7% pure silica, meaning it's absolutely perfect to exfoliate your skin with. famous spot.
I want to hold your hand. The reason why, please understand, I love you more than yesterday.
Fun fact, these beaches don't retain heat, meaning that even on the hottest days of summer, you can comfortably walk along the beach and not burn your feet.
Guys, you're about to see Laura's first backflip by herself. Chuck it! Yay! She did it! And she was fine! I survived! Magical. Ah, but the floor is so sharp. It's not funny, okay? Well, number one, we found this in some kind of cave bay thing. And number two, Melly keeps slapping her thigh because she's scared of snakes. So she's walking around like this. Trying to get them to go away.
It keeps them away.
And what was also really interesting is that the guides showed us that certain spots on the islands had been used to film scenes in movies. So the very famous scene of Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean, that was actually filmed on the beach that we could like look at from the lookout spot. They'd planted like palm trees for the shoot, but because they weren't allowed to like leave everything there overnight, because it's just a rule from like the national park, they had to like take out all of the palm trees and then the next day for filming put them all back in. So it was a very expensive shoot, and actually sadly on the last day of shooting all of the camera equipment and all the footage that they'd gotten actually like went overboard into the sea. So they basically lost all of their footage, and from everything they'd filmed on this island, the only scene that they'd basically been able to like capture and that didn't go into the water was the I have a jar scene, and otherwise they would have had a lot more scenes on this island. Now you can't really see on the GoPro footage, but we did have one journey and it was pretty rocky. We were traveling from the beach to the next snorkeling spot, and we'd kind of all gone back into our beds to take a nap, and I kid you not, I could not fall asleep. Like we were literally going like up and down and up and down, and this might be an exaggeration, but honestly it felt like I was about to lift off. It was crazy, like it was actually crazy. So I went up to deck and we were sitting in like the sitting area on the deck, and we were just all holding on for like dear life. The waves were like bashing us. So we've just sailed through some rough waters. Melly was asleep the whole time. No, I wanted to sleep but I couldn't sleep. Anyway, we went through some rough waters and now we're at our next sailing spot. Not sailing spot, what am I talking about? Snorkeling spot. So we're gonna go back in the water and do some snorkeling. Oh yeah.
Sadie wanted me to tell you she's sick and tired of your bullshit. She would just like for you to know you don't even know how to kiss. She didn't mean to make you cry. Well, those were her words, not mine. Sadie wanted me to tell you she could never be.
But we finished snorkeling and then we had a tea break, and now we're sailing to the next snorkeling spot. look absolutely horrendous and look like an absolute joke, but trust me, it's 10 times more fun when you have a pool noodle to play around with. It's 10 out of 10.
Expected the world, but it flew away from her reach, and the bullets catching her teeth. Life goes on, it gets so heavy, the wheel breaks the butterfly, every tear a waterfall. In the night, the stormy night, she closed her eyes. In the night, the stormy night, away she flies.
Good morning, everyone. It's 20 to 6 and it's the last morning on the boat. Everyone's gonna get brought back to the dock, to the deck, to the dock. Yeah. Everyone's getting brought back to the dock around 8 o'clock. And we've woken up for the sunrise. Melly woke me up, which is very, very good of her. And we're the only ones up. And we're watching dolphins right now because they've put on the blue light. And every now and then we can see a dolphin swimming around. The 2 mornings we had on the boat were so magical. You can just like feel this peaceful, calm energy. Traveling in general gives you like a different perspective on a lot of things. And I think being on the sailboat, I really realized you have no influence. You're literally, all you have to worry about is the weather. You're just there to be there, and you're just there to like take in everything around you, and it really was incredible. Alrighty, time to depart the ship. It was absolutely amazing, but I can't wait for a proper shower and for my feet to finally dry because they've been wet for like more than 48 hours. Anyway, say bye to our cabin and off we go. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and hopefully I've inspired you to go on a sailboat one day. There's definitely still so much left to see and definitely still so much left I want to see as well. I'll put a screenshot in here to show you the route that we did and kind of the plan that we had. And I just want to say a big thank you to Lucky Kate, Meg and Kyla for the crew on board. It was really good and you guys made it an awesome experience. Make sure to check out my Instagram for a lot more photos and videos on this adventure, and in general my Instagram is pretty much up to date, so definitely head over there if you want to see more up to date stuff. I have something extremely exciting happening tomorrow and my last chapter in Australia kind of starts tomorrow, so I'm feeling a mix of things, but that's a subject for another day. So for now, thank you for watching and stay tuned for next week's video. Bye!